It started on a crisp autumn evening, the kind where the wind bites just enough to remind you winter's lurking close. Clara Wilde was setting up her camp near the foothills of the Rockies. She had a knack for finding the perfect spot sheltered by the towering pines, with a stream trickling close enough to hear its song. That night, as the firelight danced on her face, a figure appeared from the shadows, a wiry man with piercing green eyes and a charm as slick as river stones. His name was Tobias Finch, a drifter with tales of gold buried deep in the mountains. He offered to split it if she'd guide him through the treacherous wilderness. Clara, wary but intrigued, agreed. She couldn't ignore the promise of riches, not with the hardships she'd endured. Days turned to weeks as they trekked through dense forests and rocky passes. Clara noticed Tobias always seemed to know more than he let on about the land, the trails, even the dangers they faced. She started to wonder, was he truly lost, or was there something he wasn't telling her? One night, while Tobias was asleep, Clara searched his pack. Inside, she found a crumpled map, marked not with gold but with the location of a native village, a village she'd been raised in as a child. Her heart sank. Tobias wasn't after gold, he was after revenge. He'd been hired by prospectors who wanted the land cleared of her adoptive family, the very people who had taught her to live, to thrive in this harsh land. The next day, Clara confronted Tobias, her voice steady as steel. "You lied to me," she said, her hand resting on the knife at her belt. Tobias smirked, his charm now twisted into something dark. "And what are you gonna do about it, Clara? You're just one woman." But Tobias underestimated her. He didn't know she'd spent her life learning the ways of the land, the traps, the plants, the silent paths through the woods. That night, she led him to a narrow canyon, where the walls whispered with the wind. She set a trap, one she'd learned from the elders of her village. When Tobias made his move, lunging with a knife, the ground gave way beneath him. Clara had led him straight into a pit lined with sharp stakes, hidden beneath a layer of brush. Clara didn't leave Tobias there to die. She hauled him out, bound his hands, and marched him to the nearest outpost. The lawmen took him, and Clara returned to her village, warning them of the prospectors' plans. Together, they fortified their defenses, ensuring the land would remain theirs. But Clara's journey didn't end there. She became a legend among the homesteaders, a symbol of resilience and cunning. Travelers passing through the frontier spoke of her with a mix of awe and fear, calling her the fire within, a woman who burned with the spirit of the land, untamed and unbroken. You see, folks, the frontier ain't just about survival. It's about trust, courage, and knowing when to stand your ground. Clara Wilde wasn't just a bushcrafter, she was a warrior, a protector of what mattered most. So the next time you're feeling lost or betrayed, remember her story. Remember that even when the odds are stacked against you, the fire within can guide you home.